honorable sisters and brothers. This video is to bring up to date. Well, this is the second video I've made. The first one, I concentrate so much on saying the truth, and it's difficult because of the horrible crimes, etc., where I don't concentrate on just presenting kind of like braggadocio what I have achieved in the mathematical physics, putting precisely every alphanumeric symbol. So what I'm going to do is I have many previous videos, and you research them, and I will say then chronologically from memory, spontaneous, like the headlines. I was previously DocC PhD company. Now I'm semi-retired. This is in Advanced Concepts in Theoretical Mathematical Physics, Science and Inventions. There's 1947 hydrogen fusion energy. Therefore, I'm at the top. Putting forward then the #1 policy for America and the world. No more use of nuclear weapons for any reason. If you want humanity to be humanity, cannot use this radiant, devastating nuclear energy, either in fission and especially, of course, in fusion, which I said was it can be at least 100 times more powerful. We have to have then diplomacy. Whatever our differences are, let's argue them, discuss them, or argue them diplomatically by diplomats. And studied Einstein to the nth degree. I repeat with emphasis, to the nth degree. What he represented, how, its validity, his thinking, and came to the conclusion that in the field of theology, he didn't really know what he was talking about. In the field of cosmology, he just would repeat what he had studied and was known at that time. And that was the world, the universe, the space is what he saw, which was the Milky Way. This is what he thought was the universe. So this hoopla that he knows about space, all over space. No, he was given crash courses. I repeat with emphasis. He was given crash courses by cosmologists of what was beyond the Milky Way, what this universe really was as far as its greatness and what was out there. Everything I say is absolute true facts. Put on boisterous analyzer, absolute true facts. No, that I say like these are all true facts that America must know. Now, in my opinion, then, philosophically, he's incorrect. He says in order to find out what this universe really is, you have to think irrationally. Then you get the best answer. Now, you think about that. In my opinion, rational man having 2 feet on the ground thinks rationally to get the best rational answer that will be valid and will sustain now and in future years. Because it then is the true rational best answer, not some mathematical schema. Now, I called him because I was working now at absolute top. And I'm working where it's 25 years ahead of, at least 25 years ahead of maybe what the public will finally get to know. Into the completion of the 20th century and going into the 21st century. So I called him not to ask his opinion, to tell him, in my opinion, what the future of theoretical mathematical physics has to be. And he said, are you sure? And I gave him the explanation of his book of relativity being falling for my rho prime equals his rho, my m prime v prime r equals his m v r, set r unity, as my m prime goes towards my finite particle, infinitesimal particle, then the velocity must increase because the laboratory proves my rho prime equals his rho, and his book of relativity falls. He says, are you sure? I said, well, sure, I'm sure. Like when? I think by 1975 they'll have particles, because there is already phase velocity and group velocity greater than the velocity of light. And they say, well, it doesn't transfer information. Well, Galileo said, by definition, V equals d over t. Velocity equals distance over time. Now, if you have phase velocity and you're going from crest to crest, or you're going, it's wavelength, and you're going by group velocity, isn't it a certain speed per increment of time? Isn't that a velocity by definition? Velocity is velocity. Do you understand? So, in my opinion, I'm correcting his irrational thinking on philosophically, and then in actual mathematical physics, I explained that my capital C prime is equal to or greater than his little c on this basis. You see, the Lorentz transformation equation, I said it politely, very politely, modernizing. See, I didn't say correct, I said modernizing the Lorentz transformation. After we conferred, he then would take his name off the Lorentz-Einstein transformation equation, because out of politeness, I spoke to him very cordial, very polite, respectfully, of course. And then the Lorentz-Einstein, he'd interrupt me and say, no, it's Lorentz's transformation equation. Oh, I knew that. I was going to say Lorentz, but out of politeness, I was saying Lorentz-Einstein. Maybe you noticed that in my voice, I don't know. But then I would forget, and I'd say, well, and in the Lorentz-Einstein, he'd just interrupt me again. He'd say, no, it's Lorentz's. Now he would say it's Lorentz's transformation equation only, because once you modernize politely, it becomes then passé. It's like a century old, so to speak. We're now moving into the 21st century. Now, then the Lorentz-Einstein transformation equation is x prime equals x minus vt over the square root of 1 minus v squared over c squared. Here, c is a little c. The velocity of light, he says, the ultimate velocity. And in my opinion, as I proved, theoretically at least, towards the infinitesimal particle, if mass is 50% your mass, and my rho prime equals your rho, the book of relativity will fall, because velocity has to be greater. Now, my capital X prime equals capital X minus Vt over the square root of 1 minus V squared over capital C squared. Capital C equal to or greater than his little c. Now, in the previous video, I concentrate so much on telling the truth, because I insist you put this on a voice stress analyzer. It's time I'm telling you the truth. I am who I say I am because I have achieved that. Now, they said there were going to be riots. And I used to work for Eastern Dakota Experimental Development Lab. In my opinion, there would be. And how to maybe stop the riots, I said, well, I'll come up with maybe an instantaneous copier. And we can then change any orders to say, don't riot or wait. And I did it in 2 weeks' time. Xerox! It's my invention. My original invention. I used to work for Eastern Dakota Experimental Development Lab, and I used to walk by Haloid. It was empty. I looked in there, it was cobwebs. That's where we started. We're supposed to be the best optical engineers in the world. To put in Haloid Xerox. This is where it started. It was Haloid Xerox, correct? But then the British intelligence got in on it and was Rank Xerox in England. And Haloid Xerox here. Now, then they came to me because now I was invited after the first month of hydrogen fusion. So you have to backtrack some. I was invited to a party, a Hoover party, you see, and I didn't see any girls. I was, where are the girls? And he says, well, you have the choice one of those two young men. I says, what? I stormed out of there, just walked out. So where are you going? So I said, Hoover's got to be replaced on moral grounds. Now I'm at the highest level. You see, he figured this man who put forward hydrogen fusion energy put it forward secretly. He called a secret meeting at the University of Rochester Cyclotron building. He did it all himself, set it up just like he's me. Hey, I need that in my racket. The best I can say about the intelligence discipline, forget discipline. Forget law. They do everything illegal, horrible. It's the best I can say about it. It's a racket. Horrible crimes and so forth. That's what I need in his racket, you see. So that's what I was forced into. I didn't think it was right, but look, nobody could. What I found, as I gradually found out, that terrific, his power. You can do anything he wanted to. Nobody would even be scared of him to get him out. No, it's 10 minutes. I want to get this done in 15 minutes. So I better get to my headlines then. So it's Xerox, Z-R-O-X, my original work, X is independent variable mathematical physics. Put this on a boisterous analyzer. I'll take a polygraph test anytime on any other's desk. They don't dare. They know it's the truth. And it's the crimes of Hoover and of this country. And of, they say, we'll anything that the public knows, we'll tell them. No, they're under the thumb of the power fellas. And the power fellas tell them what to do, and that's what they do. So they say, you don't like it, try another country. They force me. And I'll tell you right now, only the headlines, I'm the original 007. Absolutely. It started half as truth and half as a joke, inside joke. They moved to England. England was working with Hoover. And so then how be my word against the Brits, you see. Just like it's my word against the Brits as far as what they do with this fella that's in the wheelchair, and he gets all these ideas that are after he goes by my home on the way to see a friend, and he goes back and he publishes them. Absolute truth. I have all these videos, but they say now the videos, I can't get the videos. No, I have to do them all like over again now, which is one of the reasons why I have these recent videos. I have about 500, and I can't get the copy of all these videos that say these to the nth, dot the I's and cross the T's, the nth degree, what I'm saying. Each issue. So then we have where I put forward the modernization of the Lorentz transformation equations. And my capital C. And my real name is Castellano, starts with a capital C, whether you like it or not. The Castellano transformation equations, capital C transformation equations. And, well, how about rockets? I says, in 30 days, I'll match them. Because I said, do it my way. No, they're going to do it the Nazi way. I'm working with those Nazis. He said, well, you're out. If I didn't like it, try another country. Or they force me. 007, go to another country. They know who I am. As long as I don't bring any cameras, don't take any notes. I just go there and say, look, this is me. If you want me to live and work here, let me work in your science. They say, well, we think about it. But they know I'm a religious man, especially. Not in their original revolutionary group or something, because I said there has to be a better way than what we have here. So now I'm not a capitalist and I'm not a socialist. I say I'm a person who says the people should govern themselves. The people should take and govern themselves. The majority of the people should govern themselves. Not that they have some rich fella or some tyrant, No, that's in the discipline of political science. This is political science, but it's kind of undisciplined. It's dirty politics for many reasons. Now, Hoover crimes is that he experimented to death. He experimented to death with my brother on purpose. What could I do about it? That's why I said, well, I'll try other countries and see. And so these are all the true facts. The original 007. Operating at the highest level. Suggesting what we should do. And that was most important, who should be president, because I was the only one who could fire Hoover. And I went to the absolute top when I predicted Dewey, and now he says, hey, he always says he's batting 1,000. Now that Italian descent, I say it politely, that isn't what they would say. He's batting 1,000, he's always right. But now Dewey wins, and he says Truman. Well, then, the next day when he found out that really Truman won, he went ballistic. He put me at the top. He said, I do what he says first now. You understand? Now, where Einstein then, I politely would cover for him, but DiPietro put E equals MC squared first. DiPietro in 1903 and 1904. You go by Bartosi's book. What I'm saying is the truth. There's Poincare and Planck and Philip Leonard, all true facts. And then I'll put them in maybe expose videos. Thank you.